Hey everyone, I'm Nick and welcome to the channel. Now if you've watched the channel before, you'll know that I really like to have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay in my cars, but what do you do if your car doesn't have that capability already? You could install a custom radio, which is a lot of work and a lot of money, or you could get something like this, the CarpodGo T3 Pro, which can add wireless Android Auto or wireless Apple CarPlay to any car. So let's see what it's like. Already we have a bunch of accessories, and then the display itself. Now, as you can see, there's already a hint of what makes this special, and that is 60 FPS CarPlay. So we'll go into that a little later. All right, so we have a bunch of accessories here, which we'll get into in a little bit, but let's start with the device itself. So already this packaging feels really nice. Let's see what the device is like. All right, here we have the display. We have the magnetic attachment, which is nice and strong. And the display itself. So this is a 1920 by 720 pixel display with 60 frames per second for Apple CarPlay. It feels very sturdy. On the back here we have a bunch of inputs. We've got power, audio output, video input or backup camera, microphone. Well, the microphone is right here. It's not an input. And then a USB port. We also have the magnetic attachment for the back. Very strong, feels very secure on here, but it also allows you to pop it off if you need to put this away or remove it quickly when it's in the car. And in here we have some more accessories. We've got a USB-C to USB adapter here, which is very convenient for the USB port here. So if you need to connect anything with USB-A, it'll just pop in here. That is very nice it's included. Feels very flexible with the metal ports on the ends. Very nice. We also have one base here. We've got another one of these right here. So this is an adhesive base. So if you want to stick this to your dashboard, use this little adapter here. You can, if this unscrewed, you can pop it in, retighten it, and then attach this on the back here. So that would allow you to mount it more permanently onto your dash, but still gives you some flexibility. Actually comes with two. So say you have two cars and you want to move it between them, you could do that. We have a 12 volt adapter, which also has a 5 volt 2.4 amp USB-A output and a little on off switch and plenty of length. So you can put this in any of your 12 volt ports. Very nice. We have a base here, which I believe goes with this mount. So you could use this if your dash won't allow you to stick this on, which we'll see in a second. You could use this. This is the suction cup mount. So we've got a suction cup base that's also tacky, so that can mount on most dashes. It's got a lever to activate the suction cup and an extendable arm. Right here, we can also loosen it and reposition it to give you a lot of options for installation. Now the other accessories that are included, we have a backup camera. So you'd be able to use this either inside or outside the car. Some mounting screws and a mounting adhesive and a backup camera cable. So this plugs into the AV N port right here. And we'll take a look at how this works. Then we have a filter for the current. So you actually have the option to wire this into your reverse light, so it'll automatically power on when you put your car into reverse. So this will filter the current if you use that to trigger the backup camera. And the last thing here is a Bluetooth aux receiver. It's very convenient to have. If your car doesn't have Bluetooth but it has an aux port, you can use this, so you don't have to run a wire from here to your aux input. So it's very nice that this is included. It's got a little stretchable cable too, USB for power, so you could just plug this into the USB here and then run this to your aux input. So we'll test that out as well. And then of course, we have a user manual right here, which will go through all the interface, and it also has a section detailing the reverse camera wiring. While I get this set up onto here, let me tell you a little bit about the audio outputs we have. So we have a few options. So we actually have a built-in speaker. We've got Bluetooth, so you can connect your phone to this to output the audio there, but have wireless CarPlay or wireless Android Auto connect to here. We've got an FM transmitter, so if your car only has an FM radio, it'll actually transmit the sound from Apple CarPlay or Android Auto over the radio waves into your car so you can use your existing speakers. And then the last one is the aux output, so you can just connect this directly to your aux input if you already have a cable. All right, there we go. Now the way CarpodGo recommends mounting this is to have this actually on your dash to support it, and it'll give you a nice factory look. So we'll test that out in a car. All right, so we're in my 2009 Range Rover Sport. If you want to check out the work I've done on this, you can see it over here. As CarpodGo recommends, we're going to try to have it rest on the dashboard. So I'm actually going to use the suction cup mount here to attach it to the windshield and then have it rest here. So we'll peel this off here. Since we have the magnetic attachment, we just pop this off so we can plug in our 12 volt. So in my case, I'm going to plug it in at the back. So I'm going to plug it in back here because the aux port is right next to the 12 volt socket. So we're going to take our power adapter here, pop it in, take our aux jack here from the Bluetooth adapter, plug that in, and then we'll just connect the USB for the Bluetooth adapter right in here. All right. And the cable has a bunch of length to plug in the screen up front. And we can plug it in right here. And it boots up immediately. It's very quick. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to test CarPlay. So for that, we're going to go to Bluetooth here. Our device name is PND_AD91. So we're going to find that in our Bluetooth settings on the iPhone. So you can see it right here. Right there. You can choose whether you want the contacts to sync. It's usually not necessary. And we connect to CarPlay. And wow, it connects really fast. That was like, as soon as we hit connect, it was in. And it is extremely smooth, very responsive, very smooth. I'll film at 60 frames per second to put in a clip right here so you can see. Now the other thing I also plugged in back there is the Bluetooth aux input. And in Bluetooth right here, we want to connect to car music. And I heard it say connected because I'm in aux right here. And now we can test music in Spotify. So it's very responsive with music. I've actually tested a lot of things where there's a slight delay. It's perfectly usable, but this is probably one of the fastest responses I've had with CarPlay in a car. So very nice. Now in Apple CarPlay, we have all the standard settings. You know, you can change your appearance. You can set it to dark mode. You can change your wallpaper, all that. And as you can see, it's very responsive. And then if you want to use the split screen over here, you'd have your maps, shortcuts, and whatever's playing right now. Any apps that are compatible with Apple CarPlay will also show up, like Google Maps, Pocket Cast, Spotify, and things like that. There are plenty of options. And then right here is the shortcut to go back to the main interface. Here's our main interface. We've got our CarPlay shortcut, Android Auto shortcut, Bluetooth for Bluetooth settings, brightness, and general settings. So this will bring us over to our display settings. And brightness is actually automatic because there's a light sensor. So right now it's at about 70, but if I cover this up and shade it, it will automatically dim. So get into a tunnel, it'll automatically dim, and it'll come right back up when it's bright out. We also have night view. The night view setting allows you to set hours where it's dark, so it'll automatically switch and say you have your appearance here to automatic. It would switch from daytime to nighttime and switch it to dark mode so it's easier on your eyes. That's a shortcut to about. That's for the FM transmitter and Bluetooth audio. So let's go into the settings here and we'll look at audio output. Right now I have dual BT. Your phone will connect over Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to the screen for CarPlay, but it will also connect to a different device for Bluetooth audio. So that's why I had to connect it to the car audio Bluetooth, which I plugged in the back. But if your car has built-in Bluetooth audio, you can connect to that instead. The other options we have are aux, which would be just to plug an aux cable from the port here directly into your car. And then we have speaker. So So we can switch over to the onboard speaker. So we just have to reboot it since we're doing that. Now you might notice here there's a little delay, and that is because that is the delay I was talking about with Apple CarPlay. So that's why the Bluetooth option is probably the best one. But having the speakers on board is very convenient. You can adjust the volume in our settings right here. And then the other one we have is FM. So for FM, you can see right here, we're going to switch over to FM here. There we go. We'll match this to this. There we go. That's better. You're going to want to find a station that's not in use by an FM station. Pop out of here, go back into CarPlay. And now we're playing the music through the system without needing an aux port. So if your car's a little older and doesn't have an aux input, you can still use it if you have a working radio. Now while we're here and while we're connected, let's go take a look at the other settings. We've got our system settings right here. We have different language options. We have a date and time option. Once you connect your phone via CarPlay or Android Auto, it'll automatically update the time, which is very convenient. Got our Bluetooth settings here, so you can toggle it on and off. Auto connect. You have the name of the device. Our display, we've got the night shift like we talked about earlier. So automatically switch to dark mode. Got our brightness. We can choose a wallpaper. And we also have a logo. So right here, I'm in a Land Rover, so I'm going to switch it to this. And now if I reboot the device, now we actually have the Land Rover logo instead of the CarpodGo logo. So it's very convenient that it's built in. And if I'm not mistaken, once we connect in here, it changes it in the Apple CarPlay interface as well. So that's a very nice touch. If we continue in our settings, we also have CarPlay settings. If you have right-hand drive, you would be able to toggle it here. 60 FPS mode, which makes it very smooth. You can toggle it here. And 10-second timeout return to CarPlay is a setting that will automatically bring you back into CarPlay from the interface. Got our volume settings here, got our audio output settings, and our about. Now let's say you want to connect a different phone. Let's say I want to switch over to Android Auto. The best way to do that is to turn off your Wi-Fi and turn off your Bluetooth as well. And that's the best way to switch phones. Let's say you have multiple people who use the screen and you both get in the car at the same time, but you want the other person's phone, just turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and it will disconnect it from the screen. And by default, this will automatically reconnect to the last phone that was connected. Now, same as before in Android Auto, we connect to PND AD91 and we'll connect to car music as well for our audio. I am connected to both right here, car music and PND AD91, and it's connecting up front. So now we're in Android Auto. Now you may notice the refresh rate is different. Android Auto doesn't support 60 frames per second at this time, but it does work very smoothly as well. Another thing is if you find that your audio is a little quiet when you first connect with the Bluetooth adapter, you want to turn it up on your phone and on your car. There we go. Now, same as in Apple CarPlay, all your compatible apps will show up in your app menu, and the exit button right here will bring you back to the interface. All right, the last thing we want to test is the backup camera that's included. So I'm going to pop this off here, and I'm going to plug in the backup camera. There we go. Now by default, nothing's going to happen because we need to have 12 volts to this red wire. Now the way we want to do that is to run this to the back of the car and tap this into the same wire that provides 12 volt power to the reverse light. That way, when you put the car in reverse, it'll automatically turn on the backup camera. Now to demonstrate that this works, I'm going to touch this to the positive terminal of the battery and it'll automatically come on and display up here. On and off, and on and off. So it's very nice, and this type of camera, especially with the thin plug here, allows you to run it out onto the back by your license plate, for example, and use it there. Very nice that this is included. I'm going to take a minute and show you what this can look like in a couple of other cars. If you switch cars, your phone stays paired. You just need to mount it, plug it in, and choose the audio output. So that's the CarpodGo T3 Pro. It's a really nice upgrade to any car because it lets you add wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay really easily. It's also really convenient with the multiple audio output options, and the backup camera is a nice touch if you want to use it as well. The 60 frames per second in Apple CarPlay is also really nice, and it's actually the smoothest you can get for CarPlay. If you want to get one for yourself, I'll leave links in the video description, and I want to thank CarpodGo for sending this to me to review. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, or you want to watch me work on cheap European cars, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.